Alright, well, hello and welcome back, fellow bad strategists. In our last video, when we last left off, we were advancing our tanks, and they were running low on fuel and ammunition, because we don't have enough of that. There's a build-up on our northern front by Deaconvitz, but I think they're just responding to our presence. I don't think they're threatening us. That said, we're still going to screen them so they can't reach our capital. And there was a bit of a build-up here that's somewhat intimidating. I think they're sweeping down and fighting our enemy? Yeah, that's awkward. That's very awkward. It's a bit awkward. It's somewhat awkward, you know. I think our next goal is... I don't like it, but we need to finally build that road we've been procrastinating building. So, okay. We have a road here. We're blocking supplies from going that way. The troops can still pick up from the settlement though. And next, at some point we can get a water and ice mine, and we can get a farm, and that will solve our food issues, or we could just get more scavenging. And probably we'll loop this road, so it'll loop around through all these 4 hexes. This is really the ideal hex to be harvesting on, because 11.8k plus a 25% scavenging bonus for each adjacent ruins is a 100% bonus. This guy's only got a 75% bonus. However, the water seems important, especially on the barren, lifeless, waterless world that we are on now. I think it's a Seth class world. We're in a good position to make a move on that city. If we just inch our tanks forward, hopefully this red fellow pulls back enough, or remains absent enough from the front, that we can concentrate on moving north. I'm a little afraid of this stack, they're a threat to us, but if they're moving south they may clash with our western enemies, and that would be good for us. Also, we're going to cut them off if we sweep up and take this road. They can build roads for free, mind you, but we could potentially cut them off for a few turns, and if they don't get supplies for a few turns, it'll be hard for them to hurt us. Even more so, it's not even that we want to cut them off and starve them and kill them, it's that if we move towards their city and we cut the supplies off from these guys, they won't be able to threaten us whilst we push, and we might buy ourselves a couple of turns of time to take their settlement, even if we don't kill these dudes. And if we take the settlement, then they are done for. Alright, I like seeing them pull out. I like seeing them fight. That's all good. Red's not doing so hot. They are prodding at us and doing some damage, but it's not so terrible. Actually our Galactic Republic bunkers is pretty nicely positioned, to be frank. It's a little out of the way, but it is on the front line technically right now, and it's probably slowing the enemy movement with zone of control. Awesome income and sales and a junior. All good, all good. We want juniors and military officers because they're cheap. We don't want mercs. Mercs are too expensive. Oh, also, let's check our income tax. 10% gave us 16 credits a turn. 16! Well, we upped our spending to 53, but you can see how if we do this a couple more times, we won't have any economic issues. Did it again. We're going to be earning 32 a turn. Income tax, or sales tax went up. Sales tax was 2, so that's only like a couple more credits. It's not much, but it's something. We'll get a junior because we need people in our leader pool. We have spies, but we're a little low on power points, so we're not going to send our spies out. We did fine on fuel consumption. This guy's blue. He didn't get all the fuel he needed, though, so...
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And once again, try to do better than I do. Avoid selling your metals until you absolutely have to. We will sweep here, move up here. That will push them back.
Bring in the tanks! Operation successful.
And we'll finish them off.
Let's go. Operation successful.
Wiped them out. And what we want to be doing now is pushing straight up into the capital. Into the... I assume this is their capital. It's pretty... They're a minor regime, right? They're a major regime. They might have a second city. It's possible. This spot... This really looks fine here. We don't need to do too much. We can sweep that guy up to there. We can sweep him up. Mostly we're just screening. Screening the enemy. Okay, so we have recycling. Look at that. 225 metal, 168 fuel, 83 rare metals, and you'll notice we're at 8.6k. So let me think. If that's... I'd say it's 2.5 turns per 1,000. We'll say 20 turns left until this is depleted. Okay, that's fine. We can work with 20 turns. I'd love to get a high command. It's usually good to get your high command upgrades going early on because it takes so long. And it's pretty industry light and metal heavy. And if we raise, we want an OHQ, so we'll get an MG OHQ because that will be nice, and we'll choose its color. Something green. That's nice and shiny. You notice black icons with the black tokens. The colors contrast nicely for the OHQs, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. And we'll strategic move a few of these units. And then we will take our armored units and we will add them to the MG Infantry OHQ. And that will give them some real good combat rolls. Or, well, it will give them combat rolls, which will hopefully be very good. Good combat rolls can double your values, so you really do want a good SHQ leader, which we don't have, and a good OHQ leader, which we also have and we probably don't have. OHQ leaders do die sometimes. I'm not entirely sure that I understand why they die. I think maybe stats like strength come into effect. I know you can get a relic that is combat armor, and that increases strength by 20, and I think presumably you want to give that to your OHQ leaders to keep them from dying on the front lines. Haven't experimented too much, but generally speaking, you should always have your best military leader as your SHQ leader, because he applies to everyone, and he doesn't seem to apply less so than the OHQ leaders in my... Maybe he does, I'm not sure. It seems like they probably apply about the same, but I may be mistaken. It may be that the SHQ leader only applies something like a percentage of his benefit to the troops. We'll see if they attack us. If they push on us here, then it means they really do want to be aggressive. If they don't, then I think they're comfortable staying defensive at this point. We'd love to take this settlement. Settlements would be good. It's sad we had to cede settlements here, here, and here, but I mean the tanks are doing it. Tanks are doing work. What are they? Assault guns. Assault guns are pretty monstrous. I think they want a conflict, or they're really thinking that we want a conflict, which they're right about if they're thinking that. So, you know, I'm not making fun of them. They're accurately foreseeing the future. Ooh, we lost 100. We killed 400. That's good. Looks like they do want to push down here, which I really don't want them to do, and they want to push there. Yeah, our neighbors are not really content to sit idle. That's a shame, but we're still screening pretty well. We might swing our MGs down here. Yeah. Gain forward, really good. Precision soldiers, fake stratagem. Ooh, a sage! I want a sage really badly. I will do work for a sage. Okay. First thing. 20%, we're earning 27 credits. Our cash flow, we're now at 43 credits at 59 expenses. We're almost even on our expenses, which means we're making money because we're selling rare metals. Oh, we don't want to approach the governor. Oh, but I want the fist. 4 points of fist. Sweet. Okay. Oh, I absolutely want to support you because I don't like heart at all. Sweet. And we kept our fist from dropping. It would have dropped by 6 points because we lowered the heart by 3 points. Very good. Accept candidates from factions. Some of them might not have their faction value, so even if the factions are opposed to us, which they all seem to be right now, except for maybe the Syndic Union, other than that, they all seem to be opposed
Order
to
received.
us. Worker happiness decreased, unrest increased, that's fine. But you want to accept candidates even from factions that don't like you generally. The only downside is this, where you might have to dismiss them and upset the faction. But occasionally the faction members don't share their faction values entirely, and you can use them. Oh, you're all terrible. I could send you to your death, though. Yeah, you go and die on the front lines, and then we won't have you in our leader roster. I think that's how that works.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, so we're gonna be breaking it even on income now. And I really do want a Sage.
Affirmative.
So we pushed Oli Toneman into our service. Let's see him. It's you? It's you? Are you good? Okay, so he has high skill values, but he's actually kind of crap compared to our last Sage. What's he good at? He's a good inventor. Okay, so effectively this guy's he's kind of crappy, but he has low stats. He'll level up pretty quickly. He starts at a high skill level. We want to make him our, like, military science director, and he's going to do the job really well, and he likes meritocracy, so that's favorable. But he's not, like, spectacular. He's good starting skill level. We do want more political power points, I'll be honest. Like, maybe we don't need them right now, and probably shouldn't have checked the card right now, but we're going to need them eventually. Also, we're going to militia project 3 times to bring it to full level, just so that our militancy, which is probably dropped, it's at 94, will boost an extra 3 points a turn. Alright, we may actually... using guards 2, cool. Yeah, maybe we'll just defend this point with some guards. That could be good. Oh, they have tanks. Okay, this is enemy tank. 60mm howitzer. That's pretty middling. And 25mm steel plating. That's pretty low. That's very low. Okay. 115 hard defense. Our units are 148 hard defense. We also have 150mm armor, which means their hard attack is going to be reduced at 60mm. It will be at like 40%, so they'll be at 40% of 172, and we will be operating at... Oh my god, our hard attack is so low. Actually, I don't think our hard defense is halved for these being... assault guns. I think only the hard attack is halved from the look of this. So they will have less hard attack than us, and we will not have our hard attack reduced. And we have 1,000 hit points against armor, and they have 244. We will crush them here. So let's just... You know what? No. We will declare war next time, so come back to see it then when it happens. Until then.